Because sometimes I really don't understand how justice, not only in the United States, but in many countries, makes sense. But in this case, an Obama-appointed judge ordered deportation flights carrying Venezuelan gang members back to Venezuela to return to the U.S. You know, they were taken, apprehended. In the United States, there's Tren de Aragua members. They were taken to El Salvador, or to be jailed in El Salvador. And this judge, Obama-appointed judge, had said, "Oh no, you have to bring them back because that's not human. That is not human." An activist judge is siding with criminal alien gangs who take over apartment buildings, murder, rob, assault, and rape Americans. These activist judges need to be impeached. And I have my questions. I have a few questions here. Fed judge orders deportation flights carrying alleged Venezuelan gangbangers to return to U.S. Blocks Trump from invoking Alien Enemies Act. This is it's like from the 18th century, a very old law for wartime. It was it's an act of alien enemies that allows the president to say, okay, we're going to just deport these dangerous people. Mike Pence, the U.S. is experiencing firsthand at home what the blob has been doing for 35 years around the globe when it sets up rule of law, judicial reform, and governance programs abroad. A captured judiciary that serves as a backstop if they lose an election. It's like the memes write themselves. The Babylon Bee had to. It was easy to come up with this. The Babylon Bee, a satire, of course. Federal judge appoints himself president because that is the only thing that is left. I mean, how does that work? Okay, I can understand the separation of powers. I have my thoughts about that. But man, Mike Pence will let the American Bar Association and all the blob legal incubators persist too long here without challenge. The high-level judges have done the long walk through the institutions for decades. As Trump 2.0 takes on big university, a very close look should be taken at law schools. What are they programming these people with? Brian Kennedy, this is the way forward. Rogue judges can be removed for violation of their terms of employment requiring good behavior. In English law, judges are removed in a process called surreptitious, a much lower hurdle than full-blown impeachment trials. Article 3, Section 1 of the U.S. Constitution, reference on surreptitious in comments. And we also have this statement from Attorney General Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi, I also made a video about Pam Bondi's body language with Donald Trump. Donald Trump really wants us to, well, give Pam Bondi and Kash Patel a chance. We are giving them the chance they need to do this stuff. We know that they have to do to go all in. Some things are more complicated than others. I made a remark on that analysis that Trump was a bit evasive with the Epstein files question, but make sure that you watch that video analysis. Pam Bondi on federal judge blocking deportations. Tonight, a D.C. trial judge supported Tren de Aragua terrorists. Remember that the Tren de Aragua has been already labeled labeled as a terrorist organization over the safety of Americans. Tren de Aragua is represented by the ACLU. This order disregards well-established authority regarding President Trump's power, and it puts the public and law enforcement at risk. The Department of Justice is undeterred in its efforts to work with the White House, the Department of Homeland Security, and all of our partners to stop this invasion and make America safe again. Because that would be the right thing to do. It's like Bill Holte says, let me see if I got this right. When Biden mandated that we wear stupid-ass paper masks, no judge intervened on our behalf. When Biden mandated that we get vaccinated or lose our jobs, no judge intervened on our behalf. But when President Trump mandates deportations for criminal illegals and gang members, he can be stopped. and by a piece of judge somewhere. I don't know who the Judge James Bosber is, but I know I didn't vote for him. Either we have a president or we don't. Either we have a functioning government or we don't. Because no matter how you slice it, if just being at the Capitol on January 6th was insurrection, which was not, you can be damn sure that overthrowing the will of the actual president is 100% worse. Pam Bondi, where TF are you? And well, the good news is that when this was going on, Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, had already received the plane, and well, he was not he was not taking them back. He was already saying that the first 238 members of the Venezuelan criminal organization Tren de Aragua arrived in El Salvador. They were immediately transferred to CICOT, the terrorism confinement center, for a period of 1 year. And that's going to cost the United States around $20,000 per person for 1 year. But just so you know, this is going to be $6 million. I think it was 300 of them. It's going to be a bit more than that, more than $20,000. $20,000 per person. Why is the United States paying for this? But it seems that it seems that it's good business. It's going to be cheaper than having them in the United States or releasing them in Venezuela. I don't know. Maybe I'm pretty sure that they made a very good deal in this. The United States will pay a very low fee for them, but a high one for us. Over time, these actions, combined with the production already being generated by more than 40,000 inmates engaged in various workshops and labor under the Zero Idleness program, will help make our prison system self-sustainable. As of today, it costs $200 million per year. Advancing the fight against organized crime, and I'm going to just play one part of this clip here. You had time. I'm just I'm gonna play this clip in muted and double speed. It really doesn't have sound. Just so you see how I like the way. I have my doubts with Bukele when he first was elected president of El Salvador, but this guy has a flair, has something for the cinema. This is the actual thing. This is the actual people being, and all the people, all the libtards complaining. No, that is not the way to treat. That is not the way to treat these humans. Oh no! How dare you? How come you apply law enforcement on these humans? Why would you do that? And yeah, that's a lot of people complaining for many from many places, including but not limited to Venezuela. But as I've told you, I'm not going to address the Venezuela topic anymore, at least for the foreseeable future. Right? You get a fresh haircut, you get a free haircut. How good is that? How cool is that? And yeah, you are processed, and you will be. They will make sure that you either are reformed or you will spend some time in there. You will spend some time in there. It looks very clean facilities. It's like very clean facilities. I'm not gonna lie, that's very professional, especially the way all the drones and the cameras. Again, that is nice. Oh, this is playing. This had to stop in here. The CBP Home app, you remember the app that allowed illegal migrants to just make this kind of appointment, and after that appointment, they could just roam free in the United States. Well, it was repurposed. Now allows illegally present aliens to self-report their intent to depart. And that is great, because if you self-deport, if you exit the United States on your own, well, you wouldn't have that extreme prejudice stamp in your passport. If you don't have a passport, you know what that means. You will not have that stain in your record. It will be much harder to get into the United States afterwards. So you better leave now. If you are illegally in the United States, If you're watching my show, what are you watching my show? So you should be getting your life sorted out, but you should leave. You should leave like yesterday. Mostly peaceful memes, but I'm a federal district judge. Do you feel in charge? Yeah. No. And it's incredible. Thank you, J.E. May, by the way, who is in the live chat. AOC in 2023, Biden should ignore judges. Oh, how the tables have turned. You know that this is the kind of videos that I'm sure that AOC doesn't want us to watch, but I'm going to play it anyway. I don't care.
There has been thought, I believe, given to this. Senator Ron Wyden has already issued statements, for example, advising what we should do in a situation like this, which I concur, which is that I believe that the Biden administration should ignore this ruling. I think that we, the courts have the legitimacy and they rely on the legitimacy of their rulings. And what they are currently doing is engaged in an unprecedented and dramatic erosion of the legitimacy of the courts. It is the justices themselves, through the deeply partisan and unfounded nature of these rulings, that are undermining their own enforcement.
So you're saying
So they're basically undermining their own authority.
Biden administration should ignore this court, but what does that look like? What does that actually mean?
I think the interesting thing when it comes to a ruling is that it relies on enforcement. And it is up to the Biden administration to choose whether or not to enforce such a ruling.
It's very simple. You just grab maybe not an AI, because if you modify something with AI, people are going to complain. But if you just replace Biden administration with Trump administration, it should be the same, right? Should apply the exact same. Oh, you know that for liberals that doesn't work that way. We also have this. I'm gonna be over the clock with this one. Andrew Weissman says that it would be a doomsday scenario. My God, these people are dramatic. If President Donald Trump ignored the court order by a judge by deporting illegal alien gang members, doomsday scenario.
Here's the question.
Use this word
for you, Andrew. At what point does the Trump administration, in your view, and are we already on this slippery slope, begin to ignore the rulings of judges in these matters that his White House is deeming that he has superiority by virtue of being the chief executive of the country?
Well, there's very disturbing reporting in the New York Times just this morning suggesting, not concluding, but suggesting that that may in fact have happened. And that Judge Boasberg, the trial court judge who issued this temporary restraining order and said, you can't remove people. And he also said, to the extent that their planes in the air, they need to come back. You cannot remove people because I'm finding that this is improper. It's unclear at this point whether, in fact, that order was complied with.
No, it wasn't.
The doomsday scenario for this country is the idea that you would just ignore a court order. At that point, there is no rule of law in this country.
Yeah. You see how we saw the clip from AOC and we saw this clip side by side, and you see that is rules for thee, but not for me. That is the usual, right? We are used to that. We are used to that nonsense. We want to establish common sense, and these people, that's the reason why podcasts like Michelle Obama's podcast fail, because not only they are boring, but they lack all the common sense. They want to push all the diversity and all this. No, that is not it. This is the new media, and as one of the representatives of the new media, I want you to tell me what do you think about this in the comments.